I'm probably gonna make a few people salty with this one, so please don't hate me. My chair's really squeaky. I also just realized that I'm kind of dressed like gay McMurray. I don't know if y'all are Letterkenny fans, but that's the version of me that you get today.
And even though it's not Pride, we can still talk about some queer shit.
I do not like astrology. Hang on, I'm not done yet. I don't care if other people do like astrology. I'm not here to bash anyone or yuck anyone's yum or tell people that they can't find meaning in stuff or enjoy things. There was a point in my life where I would have done that, and I initially chalked that up to being a snarky little atheist debate bro who hadn't pulled his head out of his ass and unpacked the many problems with intellectualism. However, in recent years, since pulling my head out of my ass and, also coming out of the closet, I realized that it actually is more complicated than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the whole thing. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was always this way and I have just been living under a rock, but the queer community loves astrology. Like a lot. I mean, it's certainly true where I live. Astrology and the Myers-Briggs personality test thingy, personality letters. Two classification systems used informally to preemptively categorize people and assign various behaviors and social roles to them. Now, for the astrology buffs out there, I know that it's not actually that simple, nor is it as simple as it is implied to be in its more common use in various social circles. But that's just it. What's intended and what transpires are two different things. For the purpose of this conversation, I'm going to focus more on the sort of casual approach to it, the more common usage of this particular construct, as that obviously is the one that has more of an impact on people's lives and interactions. I feel that at least part of the reason queer folks are so into astrology is because it sits perfectly at that junction of the human desire to categorize things, we love that, and the novelty of having narrative control, which is something that our community, and rather the members within it, are generally denied. It's a way for us to plot out our stories, understand our behaviors, and tether ourselves to a script. I am pretty sure that I have said this in every video I've made so far, but scripts are very important. They are a way that you can interact with the world and feel safe within it and feel secure, and queer people generally don't get those. Or rather, we're given ones that don't fit and then have to get rid of them, and then we feel like we don't have a narrative in life anymore, and it's scary. With that framing, I get it. I see the appeal in astrology. I understand, I think. I mean, I understand from that particular point of view. Well, that was exciting. When I first became more active in the LGBTQ+ community, I felt like the loneliest little queer because I was just not into astrology at all. But as I examined that theme further, I began to piece together why it exists in the first place, at least to the best of my understanding. And like I said, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense. It's a way for us to feel in control. It's a way for us to understand behaviors and personalities and have some structure in a world that is kind of designed to make sure that we don't get that. And yes, I know for many people it's a just for fun kind of thing. Go off. The point that I'm trying to make is that astrology can be empowering. It offers structure in a really fun, colorful package that's easy for all of us to access and reference. My issue is that for the very same reason so many queer people seem to love astrology, I really dislike it, and I don't think I'm alone in that. Because I spent the better part of my life shaking off outside expectations about what my behavior should be and what role I should occupy in the world. I think that part of the reason it felt kind of alienating to engage with other queer people and have them asking about my sign and then trying to explain my personality and behaviors using astrology was that I'd already done that. I served my time dealing with other people trying to define me and explain me to myself. So it was really uncomfortable to have people that I could share that sense of liberation with turn around and try to do exactly the same thing through a different lens. And before anybody flexes their fingers and gets ready to dive into the comments and tell me that astrology and cis heteronormativity are not the same thing, I know. But you get what I'm getting at, right? You understand that, maybe queer people would have some kind of feelings about other people telling them about themselves and their behavior and explaining away the things that they do. Like, looking back, I've always been pretty defensive about being categorized based on things that are out of my control when they are being used to make inferences about who I am as a person. With this topic specifically, I have had a fair number of run-ins, I'm sure many of us have, with kind of manipulative people who use astrology to justify their own poor behaviors or dismiss the insights and experiences of other people. It did take me a while to separate those two things and learn that astrology is not inherently manipulative, it just serves as a very useful tool for manipulative people, and they tend to gravitate towards anything that they can twist to be used against others. That's what tools that allow us control do. They can be very, very positive, but they can also be very negative as well, and it's very important to be careful with them for that reason. The takeaway point here is that astrology is a really great tool for feeling in control of your own life and your story. But while you're exercising your own autonomy to understand the world and your place within it, it's really important to make sure that you're not compromising someone else's. Many of us struggled for a long time to shake off labels that we were given and define ourselves in spite of them. For some people, a different structure can really, really help with that process, but for others, it's just another box. That's it. I don't think I have anything else left to say on that. Okay, editing Finn here. I totally lied. There's an important thing that I forgot to mention that my partner pointed out while we were discussing this topic. Astrology is also popular amongst cisgender heterosexual women, specifically, and he pointed out that this association likely has a lot to do with the way cishet women and many queer people are failed by scientific and medical communities. Everything from, not having their health and perspectives taken seriously to being completely erased from efforts to understand human behavior. It's no secret that medical science is historically focused on white, cisgender, heterosexual men, so it makes a lot of sense that people not represented in these kind of flimsy efforts would seek alternatives to understanding themselves. Okay, that's it. Please be excellent to each other and do something that you love over the coming weekend. Whether that's kite surfing, not wearing pants, or pantsless kite surfing. I will see you next time, and as always, thanks for watching. Who is tired, young man? Who is tired, boy? Who is tired, baby? Oh, you're gonna go back to sleep? Okay, you go back to sleep. Good night. I love you.